Hi Scorpio, welcome to March. This is Teresa from Tarot by T. So this month we have a new moon in Pisces on March 2nd, and then March 7th Venus and Mars moves into Aquarius. March 18th we have a full moon in Virgo, and on March 20th the sun moves into Aries for the equinox and the start of the new astrological year. And we'll get into the astrology later. Let's see what the cards say for Scorpio. What does Scorpio need to know about love and relationships for the month of March 2022? What is coming up for Scorpio? What is coming up for Scorpio in March 2022? What does Scorpio need to know? Okay, let's see what we have. The Six of Wands, the Star, the Temperance, Justice, the Nine of Swords, Judgment, the Two of Pentacles, the Knight of Swords, the Four of Cups, and the Page of Pentacles. And the card at the bottom of the deck is the Seven of Wands. Okay, so you're starting the month off with a victory. This is a card of success, victory, possibly travel. And the star is crossing it. So the star is a card of having a wish or dream fulfilled. But getting to so you're going to have a feeling of success this month in a relationship. But the final outcome may take a while to develop. Or it could be that you've been working on this dream, like you've been wanting this dream for a long time. You've been wanting this relationship goal or dream. And finally you're starting to achieve all the things that you wanted and all the things that you've dreamed about. So this is a card of hope, of achieving a goal or a dream. And it's like success. I mean, now with this success, there could be some people around you that might feel jealous. But don't worry about it. Just enjoy. Just bask in the energy of the star. The star is a beautiful energy. In the past, you have the Temperance card and the Justice. You have a lot of major arcana. So this is going to be important. An important transitional month for you. A karmic type month. The Temperance card is about finding balance. So it could be work-life balance. It could be balance within a relationship where you're learning how to compromise. You're learning to work with the energies of the other. Because the Temperance can bring two people together that are compatible, but they're very different. And you have to kind of expand your consciousness to see things from another person's perspective. So it's about learning how to meet someone in the middle. Learning how to incorporate someone else's ideas, someone else's needs into your own life. And that can work both ways. So it's like balancing the energies of the two people that are very different, but you can come together, and if you can learn how to compromise and learn how to understand each other or see the other person's perspective, it could be a compatible match. Part of that would be also, you have the Seven of Wands here. This is also about standing up for what you believe in, setting boundaries. So you may have to set some boundaries in a partnership this month. You may have to fight for what you need or fight for what, not, be firm. If you have certain things that you really feel strongly about, don't give in. Stand up for that. But don't be so rigid that you can't allow someone else to have their needs met too. So you might have to, that's where the compromise comes in. But compromise doesn't mean selling out. Compromise doesn't mean giving in to someone else's desires where you're giving up your own needs. I mean, you have to kind of balance that, but you have to stand firm. Justice card. This is an influence that's passing. So there could have been, I feel like you're coming into, there's like a karmic, you may have felt in the past that you were mistreated or treated unfairly in relationships, and now that period is ending. And justice can mean a favorable outcome, a decision that is made in your favor. So if you're waiting for, like, if you're wanting someone to accept your love, justice is like saying yes. The person will be saying yes. On a higher level, it's a karmic card. So it's like karmic reward for whatever you've gone through in the past. So you can it's like you're going through some changes and you're being rewarded, but because you've been through so much, you almost don't trust it, because you have the Nine of Swords here in the future, which is a card of worry and mental stress. Maybe you're feeling, you're kind of like worried that waiting for the other shoe to drop. You could be in a situation that could be potentially beautiful, but then you're thinking, well, what if this happens? What if that happens? Because this is a card of guilt. So if you're not feeling, it could be a partner from the past that's feeling guilty about how they've acted in a relationship, or it could be you're worried that, okay, things seem good now, but how long is that going to last? But the Justice card is definitely karmic reward and fairness. So whatever happens in your relationship, it's important to remember to just be fair, that there will be a favorable outcome, especially if you're going through some kind of legal situation. Like if you're ending a relationship or you've ended one, the Justice card can represent some kind of legal situation, but there will be a fair outcome. So you might be worried about the outcome, but the outcome will be fair. Now, coming into the future, you have the Judgment card. This is a card of rebirth, rising from the ashes, being reborn, having an awakening. So I feel that there could be a relationship that actually helps you to change, where you're kind of, you're realizing you're being more proactive in your love life or your relationships. So instead of waiting for things to happen, you're making things happen. You're realizing, if I want to change my life, if I want things to improve, I have to take action. I have to make changes. And some of those changes could mean ending a relationship that's toxic, that's not good for you, and moving into something better, or making wiser choices. Or even when it comes to, behavior, how you relate to someone else. Maybe in the past, you were more concerned with getting your needs met, or now you're willing to compromise, or maybe in the past you've given up too much for a relationship, and now you're willing to fight for what you deserve and fight for what's right. Because this Judgment card, there is a certain element of forgiveness with the Judgment. So if you reconnect with someone from the past, you may have to forgive them and release them. But this is really, though, a spiritual awakening where you wake up and you realize what you have to change within yourself. It's no longer expecting the other person to change or expecting conditions outside of you to change. Judgment is about realizing that everything I experience is a reflection of what I am within. So I have to change who I am within to change the external world. And so you're feeling more empowered. I feel like you're going to feel more empowered in this month. And so your needs are changing. And so you may be interested, that the things that you were interested in the past may no longer be what you want now. You may have different needs now. So this often comes up when you change jobs, or you change where you live. You get out of a rut. You may even change a relationship if it's not giving you what you need, because you're feeling stronger and you're not going to settle. And this is also more about taking care of yourself, getting into, making real changes within yourself so that your life is better. You're managing your life better. You're managing your relationships in a better way, in a healthier way. Two of Pentacles, this is in your negative thinking sector. This is about juggling. You might be juggling a lot of projects right now, and maybe you're worried about getting everything done. How can I do all this? If you're juggling two people, you may have to make a choice and give one of them up or get out of something. Because I feel like this is the energy of, I can't keep this up forever. I can't keep juggling. So if you're overworked or overwhelmed with all the things that are happening in your life, you may have to decide to let some of those things go, to give yourself more room and space, to have a more realistic workload. And that could be at work. It could be projects that you're involved in your life. It could even be relationships if you're juggling two people. For some of you, you might be juggling two people. And you might have to make a decision like, okay, I can't keep this up. I have to decide. So, and when letting something go, you might feel guilty about letting one thing go and choosing another. In your environment, you have the Knight of Swords energy. So you could be dealing with someone that's a little bit selfish or a little bit insensitive. The Knight of Swords energy is someone who's looking to fight, always looking to fight. They don't mean to be, they're kind of a selfish or impulsive energy. So they just do things on the spur of the moment, like they get an idea, like, I think I want to do this. And they don't think about how their behavior is affecting others. So you might have some challenges with someone, or you might be dealing with someone who's a little bit of a challenging partner, and you have to set boundaries with them. Sometimes the Two of Pentacles can represent laughing on the outside, crying on the inside. Like you're trying to hold something together, but you pretending everything's okay. So it may be that you're not feeling valued or appreciated in a relationship. You have the Four of Cups here. There could be a situation where you're just feeling bored. You're not happy with your present situation, but you're not really ready to change it. And then you have the Pentacles, the Page of Pentacles. That could be a new person coming in, maybe an earth sign. So maybe you were dealing with an air sign in the past. Now this earth energy is coming in. And this is a card of being open to the new. It's a card of learning. And so you might be, maybe you're deciding to go back to school and learn some new things. If it represents a relationship, it could be a relationship with an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. But even if it's not, I mean, you're looking for something that offers more security. You want a relationship. You're not as, like maybe in the past, if you jumped into relationships without thinking about where they're going, this time you're being more careful. And you may want a relationship, you may want to slow things down. Because Pentacles, people that are ruled by the Pentacle, if you're meeting someone new that's of the earth or from, the Pentacle person, they don't want to rush into things. They want to take things slow, one day at a time. So don't get frustrated if things are, and you may feel the same way, but it's like a time of take your time, like slowing down. Don't rush. Because I feel like you're treating relationships differently now than what you have in the past. In the past, you might have been like, yeah, I really like this person, let's move this relationship, let's move quickly with this relationship, so you progress really quickly instead of taking time to get to know each other. But with this page, especially because this is the Four of Cups, I feel like you're going to be offered love, but you're not sure if this love is what you want. So the page is telling you, because this is a card of dissatisfaction, the Four of Cups. Boredom, dissatisfaction. A cup is someone's offering you their love, but you're not sure, is this right for me? Is this what I really want? So the page is telling you, take things slow, take your time. Don't rush into anything. If someone is, now this Knight of Swords energy, he or she could, because the cards are either sex. He or she could be someone who is a little bit pushy. They want to they have quick energy. So if someone's trying to push you into something that you're not ready for, you may need to set some boundaries. But in any case, but that's just a caution. Don't make anyone let you feel guilty. Like sometimes people try to manipulate by using guilt, making you feel guilty, like you're doing something wrong if you're not doing things their way. So, but I think if you heed all this advice and if you take your time, don't let anyone push you into anything you're not ready for, stand your ground, you have the star. You will come together in a beautiful connection, but it's going to happen over time. It's not going to be something that you rush into. It's something that's going to slowly develop, and I think it will be stronger in the long run because you're taking the time to get to know each other and you're moving the relationship. You're not rushing. That's the key. Don't rush. Take your time to find out to find someone who's really right for you, to make sure that the person who's in your life is right for you. And only time will tell that. A lot of times you connect with someone and at the beginning everything's great. You're in that, that infatuation stage. But then over time you find like, well, we're not that compatible, or maybe this person has some qualities I don't like. So only time will tell if two people are really meant for each other. But I think with the Justice card and the Temperance card and the Star, you have the potential to meet a karmic partner, a soul tie, a compatible person. Trust your intuition, trust your because this is the card of, the Temperance is also the card of the Archangel Michael. And you see there's an angel on it. So you're receiving Michael's protection and Michael's guidance. So be open to that and take time out to meditate and to ask, is this person right for me? And listen to the answer. Listen for the answer. That little voice in your head that says, yeah, trust your gut, trust your intuition. Because I feel like you're on the edge of a new life and a new you, where you're leaving a lot of the past, any kind of habits behind that were either self-destructive or working against you. You're coming into your power and coming into your strength. So you're feeling stronger in a relationship. You're not just giving in or being a people pleaser. So let's see. So things look good for the long term. Take your time. You might even meet someone that even though things are progressing slowly, they will last. They'll wind up lasting. And the relationship will be a stable one. So let's see what the angel cards, what message do you have from the angels? What do the angels want to say to Scorpio for this month? Truth and integrity. Okay. Truth and integrity. You are guided to be very honest with yourself and to be true to yourself in all of your work, all of your activities and actions. The angels say to you, let go of anything inauthentic and all activities that do not mirror your highest intentions for yourself. If something in your life isn't working, be willing to release it to God and the angels. When we open our hands and release unhealthful situations, the divine light can enter. Miracles always follow when we surrender troubling conditions or other circumstances. Heal rapidly in ways you could never have imagined. You'll find that a job, a relationship, health issue, or anything that you're concerned about heals rapidly. All along the way, the angels will perfectly guide you to actions that will either help you to replace the situation with something better or to heal it entirely. Expect a miracle when you decide to be true to you. So that's really, it fits with the cards, especially with this Two of Pentacles, where it's saying don't keep up appearances. Don't pretend to be happy when you're not. Be honest. Have honest conversations. Set boundaries. If something is not exactly what you want, release it. And that way you're clearing the energy. You're clearing the space for the right partner to come to you. So let's see what the astrology has to say for this month. So you have a new moon in your 5th house. And this new moon is very powerful. It's conjunct Jupiter, so it's very positive. and it's sextile Uranus in your 7th house. So that can bring surprise developments in relationship. The 5th house is the house of romance, children, creative self-expression. So it could bring, Jupiter brings opportunities. Neptune is also there. Although they're not conjunct now, Jupiter and Neptune will be coming together next month in your 5th house. So this is a time of a dream come true, or manifesting a dream or a wish. I mean, you could really meet a soulmate. It could start out as a romance, and where you have a strong spiritual connection. And then it could lead to marriage down the road, because you have this Uranus in the 5th house, in the 7th house. The person might be a free spirit, or you might not be able to lock this person down, because Uranus in the 7th it kind of is shaking up your relationships. It's shaking up the type of people that you attract. Actually, you attract not what you want, you attract who you are. So there could be a part of you that does want to meet someone, to be with someone, to commit to someone, but you also want your freedom. You don't want to be chained to the bedpost. So when you realize that about yourself, you can attract the right partner. Until you realize that you yourself also need freedom, you're going to attract these playboy types, or these free spirit types, here today, gone tomorrow. You can't grasp them. But when you're true to yourself, you're going to attract the right relationship that will give you both love, commitment, and freedom. Freedom to be who you are. You have Saturn and Mercury coming together in your 4th house at this new moon. So Saturn in the 4th, you could be working at home. You could be signing a contract with Mercury. You could be doing some construction around the house, or you could be just writing. Because Mercury has to do with thinking, writing, communicating. And when it's conjunct Saturn, you're doing some serious thinking about home matters. Like, what kind of home do I want? What kind of, my family what kind of family do I want? What do I want to commit to in terms of home and family? What do I have to think about? There could be some past life things, or early childhood issues that you have to confront. The one thing that you don't want to fall into with Mercury conjunct Saturn, you don't want to be so don't become cynical, thinking like, well, I don't think I could ever have a happy home, or I don't think I could ever find the right partner or the right living arrangement. Because Saturn conjunct Mercury can sometimes bring cynical thinking, or depressive thinking, or negative thinking. Don't fall into that trap. But do use the positive aspect of Mercury conjunct Saturn is critical thinking. Really looking at seeing what's there and weighing things, and making a decision not based on emotion, but based on logic, especially because they're in Aquarius. So I feel like you're going to be doing a lot of communicating through your house. You could even be creating a home-based business, or working from home remotely. There's a lot of communication going on at home, but it's serious. You're having serious thoughts. If you're studying something, Mercury conjunct Saturn, there's a lot of details. You're going deep, and even though it's a lot of work, you're really being very thorough. It's like a scholarly aspect, where you're not just skimming the surface of something. You're really going and doing the work and getting really in the weeds with whatever you're dealing with. So you could be dealing with technology with Aquarius, but you're committed to doing it. So whatever it is, Mercury and Saturn could represent commitment, promising, like you could be purchasing real estate with someone, and setting up a home that's good, where you're going to be there for a long time. So you're making a commitment. So you have to, all the more reason that you have to really think about what you're doing, because whatever you're setting in place at this new moon can last a long time. In the 3rd house, you have Venus, Mars, and Pluto. And that is trining your 7th house, the North Node in your 7th house. So I feel like that you're going to be, the 3rd house is the house of communication. It's the house of siblings, the immediate family, relatives, cousins, aunts, uncles. So you might be communicating with them more. With Mars conjunct Pluto, there could be, if any kind of disagreements come up, it could get volatile. So be careful how you're communicating, because your communication style is really intense right now. It's almost like you're you're like cruising for a bruising, as they say. So you want to watch your communication style, that you don't come across as like you're fighting or you're being very aggressive, verbally aggressive. But you could also find love, Venus and Mars, in your immediate, in your near, like your neighborhood, because the third house is your local environment. Or you could meet someone, if you're not in a relationship, through your relatives in some way, or your friends. You're out and about and you run into someone and you have a form of connection. And conjunct Pluto, Venus conjunct Pluto, you have to watch for power struggles, possibly with relatives or friends or even a partner, because Pluto can be intense. You're feeling very passionate, and you might be communicating in a very passionate style that may come across as fighting, that may come across as aggressive. So that's the only thing that you want to watch. But other than that, if you're if you're dealing with the positive side of these energies, it could bring a relationship that's very profound and transforms your life in some way. Very passionate. So that the energies are very strong and very powerful. So you want to just be, it's like your hand holding a bomb in your hand almost. You want to just handle it carefully, because everything is, your emotions are deep, your passions are deep, your anger is deep. So you want to just tame things down and don't go to extremes. But with the trine to the node in the seventh house, I feel like you could connect with a partner, like some kind of karmic path. Someone that, because the north node is like the path that you need to be on. So I feel like you could connect with someone that's going to wind up being someone that gives you a lot of security, that gives you a feeling of security. Someone that brings stability in relationships. So if your relationships have been kind of unstable, this north node can bring security and stability, and intense emotion too. Intense passion, intense attraction, desire. Even your conversations might be very, talking about deep subjects or things that where you feel very passionate about. You have very passionate feelings about the topics. Then, what else is happening? Jupiter is sextile Uranus, so it brings opportunity. Jupiter sextile Uranus is opportunity, sudden opportunity. So if you're with someone, there could be sudden changes within the partnership in a positive way. If you're not with someone, it could bring an unexpected meeting, unexpected developments that lead to romance. And also because the fifth house is involved, if you're wanting children, it could bring an unexpected pregnancy. So you want to be careful. If you don't want children, just be careful. Mercury is also, let's see. But in any case, okay, this new moon is a positive new moon. I mean, it's got Jupiter. Jupiter is abundance and expansion. So it's a great time for any kind of new beginning, especially if you're starting a new relationship or even a new creative project, because the fifth house is creativity. Like you're being your best self, you're being your true self. So if there's some hobby or something you've always wanted to try or do, now's the time to do it, because it will bring, you'll be enjoying it. You'll be loving what you're doing. And if you have children, you might enjoy them more. You might find them to be fun. You could even be honoring your inner child with a partner if you meet someone now. So then we have the full moon in Virgo, and that's on the 18th. And at this full moon, Mars and Venus have moved out of Capricorn. They're now in Aquarius. So the full moon is happening in your 11th house. That's the house of friendships, hopes, dreams, and the sun is in the 5th house. So this is like a culmination or a completion of a cycle. It's bringing to light certain things. So if there were things that were hidden about your friendships or about a romance or about, it's going to come to light. Or if you've been working on a project, a creative project, you could be finishing it up right now. And it's positive energy. This moon is trine Pluto in the 3rd. So whatever's happening at this full moon, I think it's very positive. And it's very transformational. So you might finally make a decision about a romance, about a friendship. Maybe a friendship turns to love. where you started out as friends and now you're feeling more passion. So when Venus and Mars are in your fourth house, when Venus is in the fourth house, you feel like redecorating. When Mars is there, you could be having, it could work two ways. Either you're fighting with your lover or you're having a lot of sex, because Mars represents anger, sex, aggression, ambition. So it's where your energy is. So your energy is focused on the home. So you're wanting to get your home exactly like you want it. So you're putting a lot of energy into getting your house. So if you feel like it's, you want to redecorate and get it to be more in line with what you're doing. So if you're working from home, you may want to fix up a home office, or you may want to replace some furniture. You're building like a love nest, really. And there could be a lot of activity going on in your home. And especially with, Venus and Mars are the cosmic lovers. So you might be so focused on the home, it might be affecting your relationships, because you have Uranus in the seventh, and it's squaring Mars and Venus in Aquarius. So there could be some unexpected developments in partnerships that affect what's going on in the house. So either you're meeting somebody new, or there are changes in your partnership. Maybe someone's moving in or someone's moving out. So there's a lot of activity going on in your home. Mercury is sextile Uranus from your fifth house, but your fifth house is really activated at this full moon, because you have Mercury, the Sun, Jupiter, and Neptune all in your fifth house. And Mercury is sextile Uranus, so that could bring unexpected communication from someone, a potential life partner, because the seventh house is committed partnerships. And if it's not a partnership, it could also be a business relationship. So there could be unexpected developments where you're out of the blue, you get a message like, hey, I want to work with you, like a new job offer. Or it could be someone that wants to partner with you in some way. It could be someone asks you out. And there could be a new beginning, a new relationship coming this month. If you're not in a relationship already, it's very possible that a relationship could develop out of the blue, because you have Jupiter there in the fifth house, Mercury, that's like unexpected, like communication, and because it's connected to Uranus, it could be unexpected. Like, you don't know what to expect with Uranus. The only thing is, whatever's coming in, it's going to be exciting. It's going to be fun. And you're going to, like, never in a million years did I think this person would call me. Never in a million years did I think this job offer would come in. Because the seventh house is also business partnerships. So Uranus is shaking up those commitments. So if you're in a commitment that you're not happy with, you might leave it suddenly. So that could be a job. If you're in a job and you're not happy, you might decide when this new offer comes in, hey, I'm out of here. If you're in a relationship and you're not happy, and someone new asks you out that you find attractive, you might decide to just, go with it. With Jupiter and Neptune coming together, you're having a dream fulfilled. You have the opportunity to manifest a dream, to create whether it's connecting with someone that you could have like a real spiritual connection, a soulmate connection, or you could be doing some kind of work like getting a dream job where you're doing work that you absolutely love, that you've always wanted to do. All these things could happen with this configuration with Jupiter and Neptune, especially because they're in Pisces. So it's kind of like, it's very creative, it's very spiritual. It's something that you feel like you were destined to do. It's the kind of work that you really always wanted to do, and now you're having that opportunity. And it could come out of the blue, because Uranus always brings surprises. But the good thing is, so if you're in a rut, you can get out of a rut this month. If you're doing something that you're not really happy about, Uranus is here to break you free, to break you out of jail, in a sense, and give you freedom so that you can get on the right path where you're doing work that really speaks to who you are, where you're connecting with people that really resonate with you. So that's what you can expect this month, Scorpio. I hope you enjoyed this reading. Remember to be true to yourself this month. Don't settle. Be honest about your feelings, about what you need in both relationships and work partnerships, and you should do okay. Because this is a month of opportunity, sudden opportunity. So don't let this opportunity pass you by. Because when things just happen, sometimes it's like you're like at the right place at the right time, and then this thing just appears, and you just go for it. So I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, click on the like button, click on the subscribe button, leave a comment. Tell me if this resonated with you or not. I love reading all the comments. And I want to just say thank you for supporting this channel. And if you're new, welcome. And if you'd like a private reading, click on the link in the description box. It'll take you to my website and you can purchase that and we can get you on the schedule. In the meantime, Scorpio, have a wonderful March and I will talk to you again next month. Okay, bye now.